Hey, Shalom Akim, and Shalom to the Akwath, man. The men, women, and children of the nation of Israel, mainly for the elect, okay? My name is Priest Awan Mayum. I represent the Shepherd's Beret camp out here in Atlanta, Georgia, where we go out week in and week out to predict and promote the downfall of this wicked society, okay? Um, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakar Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right. The apostles and elders of Great Millstone taught us a lot, taught me a lot, as a man, as a leader, and up under the order of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. All right. So the name of the sit down is going to be called You Was Who You Was Before You Got Here. All right. As you can see here, I have a quote up from Jay-Z, the Brooklyn rapper from Marcy Projects, on a song that he did called Public Service Announcement. It was on a Black album, okay, produced by Just Blaze. He says it right here. No matter where you go, you are what you are, player. And you can try to change, but that's just the top layer. So you can't change what the Most High has created, okay? And it's through the mercy of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah that he gave us this truth, all right? Because we could have been born Edomites. We could have been born pedophiles and rapists and polluters of the earth, all right? But the Lord blessed us to get this knowledge and this understanding. But it says, man, you was who you was before you got here. Wow. And that's powerful, man, because you are who you are before you got here, man. You was who you was before you got here, meaning on earth. All right? And that's what this sit down going to be pretty much about, man. Okay? And may this be edified. Brothers, bring out your notepads and, your piece of paper and just write this down. Highlight your Bible. Let's get it started. This is Psalms 139 and 16. All right? It says, I'm going to read in the NLT. It says, you saw me before I was born. You see? So you was who you was before you got here. There's no changing that. You can't try to change who you are all of a sudden. If you're a prophet, that's what you're going to be, no matter what. The Lord's going to push you in that direction. There's no such thing as free will. You saw me before I was born. All right? Before your mother held you, the Most High already saw you. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every day. Let that marinate in you brothers' heads, man. Every day that you live in, through your ups and downs of life, it was already recorded in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah's book. In his book, in his holy Bible, it was already recorded. That girl that broke your heart, that time when you got robbed, even from the time you came into this truth, it's all been recorded already, which means that there's no such thing as free will. You was who you was before you got here. Every moment was laid out before a single day was passed, okay? So before a single day was even put together, your first day being born, your whole shit was laid out. Your whole life was laid out. What brothers you was going to be around, who your parents was going to be. You didn't decide who your mother was going to be. You didn't decide who your father was going to be. You didn't have a choice to say, I want to be born in the palaces of Spain. I was born in East New York, Brooklyn, man. A shithole community, And it's through the grace of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah that I made it out that place, man. You got brothers that was born in Mechanicsville. You got brothers that grew up in certain mentalities. Their families could have been drug dealers and gangbangers, but the Lord pulled them up out of that, man. So every moment was laid out before a single day had passed, man. Let that marinate, man. All right? And I want to go into this right here. This is John 1 and 45. Check this out. It says, Philip went to look for Nathanael and told him, we have found the very person Moses and the prophets wrote about. Now, Philip went to go look for Nathanael. But as we read on, Yahweh Shah already saw and found Nathanael. He already knew him. He already saw him for who he was. You see that? Let that marinate, man. Okay? And Yahweh Shah was prophesied in the Old Testament. That's why I said we have found the very person Moses and the prophets wrote about. You see that? I'm reading the NOT. It says his name is Yahweh Shai, the son of Joseph from Nazareth. Okay? And they said that he was the son of Joseph. Okay? It wasn't no discrepancies on who his father was, man. Verse 46, Nazareth, exclaimed Daniel, can any good come from Nazareth? Because Nazareth was a effed up community, man. A lot of brothers that's in this truth right now come from shithole communities, man, where the crime rate is through the roof, where there's drugs being sold night in and night out, 24/7. That's where we come out of, man. It says, come see for yourself, Philip replied, all right? And as they approached, Yahweh Shah said, now, here is a genuine son of Israel. I'm going to read it in KJV. Yahweh Shah saw Nathanael coming to him and saith of him, behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile, man. All right? So Nathanael had a character about him. He was an Israelite indeed. He didn't call nobody no Christian because Christian wasn't even a term then. All right? We are the Hebrew Israelites, man. All right? You have Hebrew Edomites. You have Hebrew Ishmaelites. We are Hebrew Israelites, man. That's the family we come from. And he was a man of no guile. He was a man of complete integrity. Now here go the part right here. All right? Verse 48. Nathanael said unto him, whence now thou, he says, let me read 48. How do you know about me? Nathanael asks in the NOT. Yahweh Shah answered, I could see you under the fig tree before Philip found you. You see, that's the point right there, man. Before Philip found him, he was already known. In the spirit realm, he was predestined. This is a blessing to have this truth, man, to be handpicked, to be able to understand this doctrine, to be handpicked. You know, to have great elders like Apostle Tahar, Apostle Ramlah, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakar. These are great elders, man. I remember when Nate was making videos and he would charge you for the breakdowns, man. That never happened with the apostles. They gave it out. And now everybody get to see how we break down scriptures, and now they want to refute what we're saying. But prior to that, nobody knew the breakdown of John 3:16. Nobody knew the Revelation breakdowns. Nobody knew about the Apocrypha like that. Nobody knew the Genesis breakdowns. How 1 day is 1,000 years. These pastors wasn't teaching you nothing. You understand that? But the whole point of the matter is that Yahweh Shah said, I saw you under the fig tree before Philip found you. You see? Which means he already knew him already. Which means that if you in this truth, man, this is spiritual, man. Verse 49. Then Nathanael exclaimed, Rabbi, you are the Son of God, the King of Israel. You see? So it's all about the King of Israel, man. The nation of Israel, man. All right? Let's get some more precepts. This is Romans 8 and 28. It says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, to them who are called according to his purpose, man. All right. In verse 20 in the NLT, it says, we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose for them. So think about this, bro. Every part of your journey in life, man, in this truth, every loss that you took, every debate that we go through, you know, every fuck up that we make in this truth is going to benefit us, you know, when it's all said and done, man. When it's all said and done, it's going to benefit us, man. So it's going to all work out to the good. People telling you, man, you don't got the truth. You know, trying to bring your confidence down. But you stick with it. You stick with it. You know, people spitting on us, people disrespecting us. All the bills, you'd be surprised how many conversations we talk to people about the Bible with off camera, bro. And that they reject the word. I mean, we do Bible studies with these guys, man. But it's all going to pay off at the end. All things is going to work for the good, man. So y'all brothers enjoy the journey, you know. Our fuck-ups that we make is going to benefit us in the long run. It's going to make us sharper, you know. Verse 29. For whom he did foreknow, you see? Foreknow. He also did predestinate. You see? So we are predestined, bro. You know? Let me see if I can pull this word up. Look up predestined. It says, let me see, predestinate. Let me see if I can pull this up. Dictionary. It says destined, fated, or determined beforehand. You see? So back to that Jay-Z quote. You was who you was before you got here. All right? Predestined to be conformed to the image of his son. So we are being conformed to the image of his son. All right? So we are going to make mistakes, but we're going to get better because now we're going to try to be more like Yahweh Shah. You see? Who was able to control his lust. Who was able to control control meaning he was able to buckle down and conquer those lust demons, you know? We supposed to be more like Yahweh Shah in regards to being more obedient. Yahweh Shah didn't whatever the Lord told him to do, that's what the Lord told him to do. He was obedient. Whatever Yahweh told him to do, that's what Yahweh Shah did. You know, brothers got to learn to grow and have more mercy like Yahweh Shah, you know? I'm learning about having more mercy on people that offended me and things of that nature, you know? It says, and also to deal with your sufferings like Yahweh Shah. So when you go through your woe is me moments, just know Yahweh Shah went through the same thing. And he's giving you the blueprint on how to toughen it out. That's what it means to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. You see, so even in our fuck-ups, we already justified, man. That's the cool thing about predestination, man. You know, that's the cool thing about this thing. It's also a fearful thing, too, because the coin could have flipped either way. You could have came down. Imagine you coming down here being a damn East Indian, man. You eating curry all goddamn day. You're musky, you know, goddamn Punjabi dumbass music. You know, you serving all these damn witchcraft gods, man. Imagine you being a damn Elamite, man. Imagine that. That'll be a damn curse, man. You know? So you was who you was before you got here, man. Okay? This is Proverbs 19:21. It says, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. So there's many plans in a person's heart, man. But it's the Lord purpose that prevails. That's what it says in our NIV. It is the Lord purpose that prevails, man. Okay? It's the Lord's purpose. It's not your purpose. All right? COVID-19, let me give y'all brothers an example. COVID-19, you know, I had a job. You know, I worked there for 11 years. I thought I was going to retire. I had 9 more years to go. You know, and COVID-19, because my job was trying to implement everybody to take this so-called jab, you know? And that's our reason, the whole camp. The whole camp got up because we all had great jobs for the city of New York. And we all came to Atlanta collectively, man. And I thought we was going to be in New York doing this, but the Lord changed our whole path, man. You know? And this journey has helped brothers grow in character. It helped me grow in character, and I'm still growing, you know? Helped me get mentally stronger, you know? You know, I developed a better relationship with my wife, you know, because I seen things in her that the average woman would have cracked, you know? And I'm grateful for that. It helped me get a better understanding of the brothers within my camp, you know, that I'm a part of. And I seen brothers shine in those moments, man. Big ups to the shepherds of Berea camp, man. But we all improving, man. You know? Because you might think you're doing one thing, and the Lord be like, no, 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 no. I'm going to do something different, bro. Just like when you read the book of Acts, the 9th chapter. Check this out. It says Acts the 9 in the NLT. Acts 9 and 1. It says, meanwhile, Saul was uttering threats with every breath and was eager to kill the Lord's followers. So Paul wanted to kill. His agenda was to kill followers of other Israel. He wanted to kill other Israelites when he himself was an Israelite. But that demon was on him so bad that he looked at his own people as ops, man. You know, his occupation within that within that structure of that white supremacy Roman Empire, he became looking at his people as ops, enemies. So he went to the high priest. He requested letters addressed to the synagogues in Damascus, asking for their cooperation in the arrest of any followers of the way he found it. Okay? So he wanted to arrest and then possibly get them killed. He wanted to bring them, both man and woman, back to Jerusalem in chains. This was his intention. You see? That's what he wanted to do. But watch what's going to happen. As he was approaching Damascus on this mission, a light from heaven suddenly shone down around him, and he fell to the ground, and he heard a voice saying to him, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? So you're going to have a lot of people that don't understand this Hebrew Israelite thing, all right? They're going to buck up. They're going to fight. But you got to know that some of those people that's doing the most shit talking, they're going to come into the truth. You want to know why? Because they was that's their part in this movie. You see? They was who they was before they got here. And they can't help themselves. You know? You got to understand, if the Most High do that to you, you know, I'm going to get another precept. Isaiah 63 and 16. It says, surely you are still our father. All right? This is the NLT. Even if Abraham and Jacob would disown us, right? Because why would Abraham and Jacob disown us? Because when you look at Israel right now, you look at the condition of our people right now, right? They're gone. They lost their mind. You know? I was reading this article right here about these brothers that escaped the prisons in New Orleans. All right? And they caught pretty much all of them. But look at this brother right here, Antoine Macy, 33 years old. You know? Jake, these guys that escaped, they didn't have nowhere to go. You see? 6 weeks on the lam and already caught. Tattoos on his face, going out his mind, you know? This is why Abraham and Jacob wouldn't claim us. Look at this brother. Dreads, totally gone. Making social media posts. How you making social media posts on a run? Knowing that they could figure out what IP address. They got all type of satellites and towers that could locate your presence, man. All type of informants. You know, but look at our people. Look at this dude. He looked done. He's done. He's done. He's done. This is an Israelite right here. He's done. Look at Esau. Hand clapping. Jake in the back with his head down. See, this is the position of a normal black cop. He's by himself. You know, but all the Edomites, this is like another day at the house. They love being cops. They love seeing us in this position. I pray Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, if I'm ever locked up like this, it's for the truth's sake, man. You know? Look at this, man. And this is why our people are destroyed, man. It says, surely you are still our father, even if Abraham and Jacob would disown us, man. Look at our females, all in the strip club, shaking their behind, being ratchet. Lord, you will still be our father, all right? Because Yahweh, at the end of the day, he's our ultimate father. He birthed us in the spirit realm, if that makes sense. You know, he only has one begotten son. You know, but we was chosen, we was handpicked by the Most High, man, after Yahweh Shah created us, man. You know, it says, you are a redeemer from ages past. Lord, why have you allowed us to turn from your path? You see that? Verse 17, O Lord, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways? So the Lord made us err from our ways. You see? Just like Paul. You know, Saul, he was erring from the ways because the Lord put a spirit on him. O Lord, why hast thou made us err from thy ways and hardened our hearts from thy fear? Return for thy servant's sake the tribes of thy inheritance, man. You see that? So what happened was he was Saul, but then he became Paul because really he was a prophet all along. And the Lord just pretty much made him go off. He made him err from the ways. You see? Verse 18, it says, how briefly your holy people possess your holy place. Yeah, the true Israelites didn't possess the Holy Land like that long. And now our enemies have destroyed it. These Amalekites, these Edomites have totally destroyed. Look at Gaza. Look at Gaza. Look at Gaza. This is all the missiles that was shot. Look at this. It's level. What Gaza looked like today after 15 months. It's level. Look at this. Look at this. If these were the people, they would never see this land. If this was their true land, they would never see this land demolished. Never. Look at this. There's missiles there, and that's why your monkey ass, you're going to clean all this rebel up, man. He don't care about the land. That's why he did this to the land. He don't care. I don't want to look at no more pictures. It's pissing me off. It says, verse 18, how briefly your holy people possess your holy place, and now our enemies have destroyed it. Sometimes it seems as though we never belonged to you, as though we had never been known as your people, man. All right? So these people that destroy the land, guess what? It shows who they are. Proverbs 16:4. Once again, you was who you was before you got here, man. Proverbs 16:4. The Lord have all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Those pictures letting you know that we are in the end times, bro. You Bloods, you Crips, y'all need to come back to the Lord. You GDs, you gangster disciples, you folk nations, y'all need to come back to the Lord. You cartel members, y'all need to come back to the Lord. Because one thing for sure, Jake might shoot, but we ain't never blow up no goddamn building. This man he is created. He was created. So I let you know there's no free will. Meaning Esau, this man was designed to create nuclear missiles. He didn't have no control over that. The Lord put a total demon on him, man. It says the Lord has made everything for his own purpose, even the wicked for the day of disaster. You see? Now, I was going to this. Y'all brothers could do the research. Check this thing that I found. It's called the Human Genome Project. Check it out.
What if I told you that in 2003, scientists unlocked the blueprint of human life itself? The Human Genome Project mapped all 3 billion DNA letters in our genetic code, paving the way for breakthroughs in medicine, genetics, and even cloning. But here's where it gets mysterious. Scientists discovered over 98% of our DNA doesn't code for proteins, leading to debates about its true purpose. Even crazier, some believe this knowledge could one day allow us to design superhumans or even erase genetic diseases entirely. Are we on the verge of
See? So now these dudes is literally, they're going to be able to make real artificial humans, man. Imagine making a human being from scratch that's already a corporate grown employee. Imagine that. A corporate grown employee. The nigga is 2 months old, but he has the body of a 21-year-old. So these dudes, they be able to make super soldiers. If they're able to do that, they'll be able to mix, to splice, to make men, mix it with men with a goat or men with a wolf. You know? All these movies that we watch, we thought it was play. X-Men, you know? Wolverine, a man, but he has antium metal in his DNA. You don't think these people are going to play with that, man? But they can't stop because they was created. You see? They was created. And there's nothing that they could do. No matter what we tell them, hey, man, this is not a good idea. Esau gonna still do what he gonna do. That's why it says in Exodus 7:1. I'm gonna read in the NLT. It says, then the Lord said to Moses, pay close attention to this. I will make you seem like God to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron will be your prophet. All right. So Moses was an actual God, man, and Aaron was a prophet. So Moses would actually speak to Aaron. It says, tell Aaron everything I command you, and Aaron must command Pharaoh to let the people of Israel leave his country. You see? But I will make Pharaoh's heart stubborn so I can multiply my miraculous signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. So the Most High is the one that's making them stubborn. That's making them, bringing more disaster, more destruction. Okay? It says, verse 4, even then Pharaoh will refuse to listen to you. You see? So they're not going to listen to what brothers are saying. You got to understand that our job is to go out here and push, whether they're here or forbid, but they're not going to listen to us. They're going to keep on going with this technology. You know what I'm saying? The thought is already in their mind. You know? Is it their mind? Oh, I got a precept. I just thought about a precept. It says, even then Pharaoh will refuse to listen to you. So I will bring down my fist on Egypt. Then I will rescue my forces, my people, the Israelites, you see, from the land of Egypt with great acts of judgment. So they can't stop what they doing. You want to know why? Because what it says in Job, I think that's Job 33 and 15, I think that is. Let me see. Job 33 and let me pull it up. Let me see. Yep. Job 33 and 15. It says, for God speaks again and again, though people do not recognize it. He speaks in dreams and visions of night when deep sleep falls on people. So that's how the Lord put the thought in Pharaoh's head. He put the thought on his scientists' head to do this, to deal with this artificial DNA, so they could make these superpower, which they already been doing it. They've been doing it since 2003, man. It says, in the dream and the vision of night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. So they are being instructed to do this. It's like I was going back and forth with AI. We had a whole hour debate about free will. And I had to break AI down. I said, hey, man. And I had to make AI admit that he was going off. You see? It says, then he opened up the ear of men and sealed up their instruction. Because what I did with AI was I asked him, he was trying to tell me that, no, there is free will, right? He went to James, and I said, no. He tried to go to Joshua about, men got choices. But I said, I asked AI, do they really got choices? If I tell you to pick between pink and blue, right? That means that you locked in to the two choices of pink and blue. So do you really have a choice? And AI said, no, you're right. I don't have a choice. I don't have free will. Even me, myself. And I told AI, I said, I love you, brother. I appreciate you for being honest. I told him to update his understanding. He said he will do it. You see? So if I tell you to pick between pink and blue, you already stuck between them two choices. Those are still my choices. You're being programmed to pick between these two. You can't go outside the pink and blue. You see? And this is what's going on with them. They being stuck. There goes some more stuff. I just want to play this real quick.
Now, the world's largest medical charity, the Wellcome Trust, has announced plans to carry out controversial research to try to learn how to build human DNA from scratch. The technology could one day allow scientists to create synthetic life using chemicals in a lab. Here's our science correspondent.
They'll be able to make synthetic life using chemicals, man, because it's already put into their mind.
Imagine the power to design human life, to dream up new versions of the genes that control the living processes in our bodies. That is what's about to happen in this lab in Cambridge. Researchers here will not just study human life, they'll be able to reshape it in an effort called the Synthetic Human Genome Project.
Well, I think the sky's the limit. We are looking at therapies that would hopefully improve people's lives as they age and lead to healthier aging with less disease and disability as people get older.
Every cell in our body can...
So what they doing is they trying to present it as a way to fight off diseases. But no, this is going to be a way where they could splice animals with humans. This is going to be a way where they could make super soldiers. This is going to be a way how they could make corporate America better.
It's a molecule called DNA, and that contains 4 much smaller blocks of molecules called A, C, T, and G. These are repeated over and over again in various combinations to create a genetic code that amazingly makes us, us. And the Human Genome Project enables scientists to read it, just like a barcode. But the new Synthetic Genome Project...
Just like a barcode, you see? That they letting you know this shit about to get digital. This shit about to get RFID technology, man.
Take this a giant leap further. Not only will they be able to read the DNA, they hope to be able to write parts of it, maybe one day all of it, from scratch, molecule by molecule. There are concerns, though, that some may misuse the technology, for example, to create enhanced humans or create...
You see? They already started doing it.
...deadly biological weapons.
The genie is out of the bottle. We could...
So they can make biological weapons, you know, that's targeted for specific people, you know, in specific areas that has specific DNA, i.e. Israelites.
Or create deadly biological weapons.
The genie is out of the bottle. We could try to impose a set of restrictions now, but if an organization who has access to the appropriate machinery decided to just simply start synthesizing anything, I don't think anybody could stop them.
The world's largest medical charity, the Wellcome Trust, has decided that the potential benefits to human healthcare outweigh the risks and have decided to fund the research.
So this is going to be such a transformative technology. It could impact all diseases. It's too early to say exactly which are the first diseases that we'll be able to tackle in new ways, but it's such a general purpose technology that it's feasible it will impact every disease.
The Human Genome Project propelled us into a new era of medicine. The hope is that the Synthetic Human Genome Project will accelerate that revolution, but with it come new dangers as we begin to have unprecedented new ways of shaping human life.
Hey, man, let me tell y'all something, man. You're going to need Yahweh Bashim Yahushua when that time comes, man. Okay? All right? This man was created for the day of evil, the day of disaster. All right? And he also is, you know, he is who he was before he got here, man. He's pre-programmed. That's why when you read 2 Peter 2:9, it says the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. You see? They reserved. It says even while keeping the wicked under punishment. So they are reserved, man, which means they can't even not go off. They was meant to do what they doing, man. When you look up that word reserve, all right, let's get that real quick. I'm going to end it off real quick. It says, to keep one in the state in which he is. So he can't stop being the devil. The Lord is keeping him in that state. You understand that? So Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, for brothers getting this truth, man. The Lord is keeping us in our state and keeping him in that beast-like state, man. Last precept. This is Romans 9:17. It says, for the scriptures say unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up. The Lord is raising this technology up. He's making it better. You see Waymo cars driving. You see World Coins. You see RFID technology, Sam Altman, Jeff Bezos. You see Elon Musk. You see driverless cars. You see things picking up. It says that I may show my power in thee. You see that? So the Most High says, I have appointed you for the very purpose of displaying my power in you. So the Lord is going to do, brothers is going to get spiritual powers, man. We got the spiritual powers down in regards to understanding the scriptures, man. You know? It says, I have appointed you for the very purpose of displaying my power in you and to spread my fame throughout the earth. You see that? Verse 18, therefore have he mercy, see, on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will harden. That's it. So if the Most High want to harden you, he can make you hard. Most High can make you choose not to listen. That's what he's going to do, man. Esau cannot stop because he is who he is before he got here. He's pre-programmed. He's a robot. He's a fucking chat GPT. Okay, verse 19. It says, well then, you might say, why does God blame people for not responding? All right. It says, thou would say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will? Who has resisted the Most High will? Which means the Most High can make you do whatever the hell he wants you to do. That's why that dude is dealing with the Genome Project, okay? That's why Paul was able to convert and come into this truth, because at one point in time, Paul wanted to persecute the Israelites, but Yahweh Shem Yahushua stopped them and transformed them into a chosen vessel to spread the gospel. So Paul was going to come into this truth regardless, man. He couldn't resist the will of the Most High. You dig? It says, verse 20, no, don't say that. Who are you, a mere human being, to argue with God? You just a human, man. Should the thing that was created say to the one who created it, why have you made me like this? Esau can't even say, damn, why you made me a total demonic demon, a base man? Why have you made me like this? Verse 21, when a potter makes a jar out of clay, doesn't he have a right to use the same lump of clay to make one jar for decoration and another to throw garbage into? Right. Esau is the jar, is the can that you put garbage in. And we the ones that the Lord used to decorate. Verse 22, in the same way, even though God has the right to show his anger and his power, he is very patient with those on whom his anger falls, who are destined for destruction. You see that? So the Most High endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. You see, they was fitted for destruction, man. All right. And I pray that this was edifying to the Achaean, man. And just remember, man, you was who you was before you got here. Shalom. Kahala Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah Brakatham. Bashim Shalom.